Hi, everyone. My name is Chenny from Gofinger Holdings. I am the product manager of Test-Free App inside Jira. Welcome to today's webinar. Today, I would like to talk about best practices for test case management inside Jira. If you are in the Jira shop, you know that all Jira data is created as Jira issues, and all these issues are organized in a flat way like this way. It's just a list without any logic information. So if you want to categorize or group your issues, you have to tag them. Let's see, tag them by labels or components, etc. Every time if you want to find your data, you have to use filter or search, right? So definitely it is not suitable for testing team, because for testing team, when they try to manage test cases, they need a better way to organize test cases into a logic way. That's why we introduce test-free app into Jira to help user to achieve that. So the first best practice for test-free is that we organize test cases into a logic way. So here you see I launched the tester suite. It is a central page to manage test cases. So tester suite here helps user to build test case folder structure. Let me just open the first one with 11 test cases to see how test cases are organized into folder structure in test-free. You see, this is the way how test cases organized: a folder structure, logic way, and tree structure for all test cases, because these folder structure will be reused during the test execution, because during the execution, the test cases need to be executed in a logic way. So first of all, you have to build your test case logic by using tester suite. Okay, so best practice 2, you have the structure, you need to maintain the structure, right? Sometimes you want to update your folder structure or change the test case logic. So inside test-free, it is quite easy. You can just drag and drop like this way to change the order of your test cases. These test cases will be, this test case structure will be reflected during your execution as well. Move a single test case definitely cannot meet all the requirements. Sometimes we want to maybe move multiple test cases to a new location. You can choose multiple test cases and then use this move option to put them into a new folder. For example, here I want to put them to registered user like this way. You see, the structure has been updated like this way. It's quite simple. If I expand all, you will see how all of my test cases structured in this tester suite. And even more, sometimes we may want to move a group of test cases or move a folder. This is also quite simple. You can just go to this folder and then use this move option and then choose the destination like purchase ticket and then move it and then close it. You see, if I refresh, the structure information has been updated. You see the registered user from these search flies has been moved to new location. So this is quite convenient and easy for user to maintain the test case structure or the logic. So best practice 3, we need to find a very easy and convenient way to create and group test case data, right? So if you are using Jira native create button, as I mentioned at the beginning, this issue will be buried into a flat list. You have to use tag, you have to use version information to categorize your test case. But the basic requirement for tester team is that the test case need to be created into a folder structure. That's why here, or test3 provide an add test case option. So you can create test case directly from a folder. Let's say test case 1 and create. You see, once the test case creation is done, the test case has been structured in the logic way here automatically. So this is the way we provided to help user to create test case with structure information. Sometimes we may need to clone a test case, right? Because we can duplicate the test case and then we can update to make sure that the test case is suitable for the new tester scenario. So test3 do provide that option to help user to create a test case in a fast way. For example, here, like clone, let's just give like new test case, something like that. And then let me click on the clone option. And once it is done, you see a new test case has been created. What you need is that just launch this test case and then update the tester steps to make sure that a new test case is good for the new tester scenario. So to clone a single test case, definitely it is not enough for all of our test activities or testing teams. Sometimes we may need to clone multiple test cases, right? So we also support that. You can choose multiple test cases like this way, and then you can use this bulk operation to clone. And at the same time, you can just specify the location of this clone test case like this way, and then finish your clone. These test cases will be created automatically. You see now it is 16, means these test case has been cloned here. You see 3 clone test cases, okay? And there's another popular way to create test case data. I mean, in a lot of teams, I know that they are using Excel to do their daily test case creation. And after a period, they want to import these test cases back to the Jira or to the test case management system. So test3 also provide the option to import test case from external Excel file. For example, here, if you go to this import test cases tab and then click on the import button, find your test case file. Here, I prepared 3 test cases in my CSV file, and then I want to map different fields to be imported, and then next. So you will see here what information you want to get from your Excel or CSV file, like summary, priority, whatever, right? The most important is that here we have test suite to make sure that once the test cases are created, the folder structure is created automatically, and also the step information. Let me just begin this import. You see, it's quite easy. And then let's go back to tester suite page again. You see a new test case repo has been created. I mean, this is a new tester suite I just created by the import. If you go inside and check, you see the logic information, I mean the sub suite has been created along with these test cases. Now, if you want to merge your suite to another one, so it is quite easy by test3. You can simply use this move and copy option, and let's see, put them into this flight reservation system. I want to merge these 2 tester suite, then click on the move. You see, it's quite simple. The original one has been disappeared. Now, if I open this one, you see test case repo here has been listed. You see the 3 test cases are there automatically. So this is a way how you create your test cases with a very easy and convenient way. Let's move to the best practice 4. When we see a test case, right, we need a good test case content to guide your testing. Now, let me just open a single test case issue to see what content we can get. We all know that tested step is quite important for your execution, right? So TestRe provide this structured tester step and step by step, and you can also like clone a new step like this way, or delete, or even more import, export. We provide such kind of flexibilities to help user to create test steps with a very fast and efficient way. Why we need such kind of steps? Because inside any testing tool, we want the steps to be executed independently. So Jira natively doesn't support such kind of thing. So for TestRe, you can create your execution and then execute your step by step like this way. You can give result for different steps like this way, and then create a defect from your test step. So this is the test case step content. And you know that Jira is a quite big system. It can handle a lot of stuff like requirements, dev tasks, defects, right? With the help of our TestRe, also you can do test case and test execution management. If all the data is in the system for testing team, we definitely want to connect our test case to requirement so that to establish the traceability between test and dev team. So here, TestRe provide this requirement panel to help user to link existing requirement to this test case. And definitely from test case, we want to read more information like execution history. That's why we have this test plan panel to show that contents and also all the defect reported against this particular test case. They are here. And also you can create ad hoc test run from your test case directly. Yeah, that's pretty much for today's webinar. Let me summarize again. To do your test case management inside Jira, the best practice is that the first one, organize your test cases into a logic way, into folder structure. There must be best practice two, there must be some convenient way to maintain the structure like reorder, restructure, import, export, etc. Best practice three, there must be an easier way to create the test case with steps and the structure information, the folder information, because we need such kind of logic information during the execution. Best practice four, there must be a good test case content to guide the testing step by step, and also can get more information like requirement and test case location information and execution, etc. So we need such kind of features inside a Jira app in order to finish our test case management. Yeah, that's all for today's webinar. If you have any question or want to learn more about our product, feel free to reach out to us at sales@gofingerholdings.com. Again, thanks for joining and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.